give them the satisfaction. Outsmart the courtroom. Let the beat ride. Let the beat ride. Dodge the talk, walk the walk. Letting the action incredibly talk. I'm looking at the judge sitting high on the bench, trying to send my brother back into the muddy trench. The system is corrupt, the scales are completely tipped. The Constitution is a beautifully written, tragic script. They throw the heavy book at a brother for a dime, while the politicians commit the ultimate crime. The street is a battlefield, the courtroom is a war. They lock us in the cage and they heavily bolt the door. I'm studying the law, memorizing the rights, preparing for the legal and the intellectual fights. You can't beat the system with the heavy loaded gun. You gotta outsmart them if you really wanna win. I'm dodging the chalk outline on the concrete floor, refusing to become another casualty of the war. The gavel hits the wood with the devastating sound, but I am standing firmly on the solid holy ground. Dodge the chalk, walk the walk. Letting the action incredibly talk. Dodge the chalk, walk the walk. Letting the action incredibly talk. Dodge the chalk, walk the walk. Letting the action incredibly talk. Dodge the chalk, walk the walk. Letting the action incredibly talk. They want a reaction, they want you to explode, so they can justify the heavily punitive code. But I'm maintaining the stoic and the icy cold stare, showing them that I am entirely aware of the traps they lay down, the decoys and the bait. I'm the master of my own magnificent heavy fate. We gotta stop feeding the penitentiary machine by keeping our activities impeccably clean. I'm mentoring the kids, keeping them off the block, showing them how to properly pick a mental lock. Open the intellectual and the powerful door before they end up bleeding heavily on the floor. The true revolution is staying out of the cell and building up a heaven in the middle of hell. I'm fighting with the intellect, boxing with the brain, washing all the ignorance away in the rain. Dodge the chalk. Dodge the chalk. Dodge the chalk. Dodge the chalk. I step out the courthouse, a free and living man, executing perfectly the intricately master plan. I didn't take a plea, I didn't fold under pressure. I proved my absolute and undeniable measure. The prosecutor angry, the detective is mad, because they couldn't take the only freedom that I had. I'm a testament to the power of a focused mind, leaving the oppressive and the heavy system behind. I'm marching down the steps, breathing the fresh air, a monumental victory, exceptionally rare. I walk the walk, I don't just heavily talk the talk. The king maneuvering effortlessly around the chalk. No, you're right. No, you're right. No, this. No, you're right. Don't veer. Don't give them the satisfaction. Don't give them the satisfaction. Let the beat ride. Let the beat ride. Let the beat ride. Move silent, keep it dark. Leave no trace. Leave no trace and leave no mark. Move silent, keep it dark. Leave no trace and leave no mark. Leave no mark. Leave no mark. Leave no mark. Yeah. Leave no mark. Yeah, that's right. Window rolled down, catching the midnight breeze. Only time my mind is somewhere at ease. Memories of the dirt where the flowers won't grow. Now I'm planting my seeds in the concrete snow. Got the pocket full of grit in the mind like a vault. If you slip in this game, it is your own fault. I don't ride with the hype, I don't chase a trend. I just stack my chips right through to the end. Seen the bright lights blind the sharpest of minds. Leave the weak ones lost in the daily grinds. Ain't no time for the slipping, gotta tie the boots. Taken from the branches, but I nurture the roots. Stay smooth, move silent, leave no trace and leave no mark. Leave no trace, leave no trace and leave no mark. Black tint, don't flinch, black tint, moving through the shadows like a silhouette print. Black tint, don't flinch, black tint, leave no trace behind, just a cold footprint. Yeah, stopped at the red light, looking left and right, ain't no friendly faces out in the dead of night. Everybody got to hustle, everybody got to scheme. I'm just trying to wake up from this American dream. Built a wall around my trust, locked it with the key. Only me, myself, and I in this trinity. When the rain hits the glass, it sounds like a drum, reminding me of all the battles that I overcame and won. I don't need a pat on the back or a shiny plaque. I just need my rear view clear, keep them off my back. Through the smoke in the mirrors, I see the truth. I'm a veteran of the block, still keeping my youth smooth. Move silent, leave no trace and leave no mark. Leave no trace, leave no trace and leave no mark. Black tint, don't flinch, black tint, moving through the shadows like a silhouette print. Black tint, don't flinch, black tint, leave no trace behind, just a cold footprint. Yeah, I take the long way home just to clear my head, remembering the words that my old man said. Keep your head on a swivel and your heart on ice. In this game of life and death, ain't no rolling twice. Leave no trace, leave no trace, leave no mark. Leave no trace, leave no trace, leave no mark. Black tint, don't flinch, black tint, moving through the shadows like a silhouette print. Black tint, don't flinch, black tint, leave no trace behind, just a cold footprint. Yeah, move silent, move silent, move silent, move silent. I got everything I ever wanted, so why do I feel so damn empty? I don't even recognize the man looking back at me. Yeah, face yourself. Yeah, look at the kid in the mirror, heavily shining with the gold, living the lifestyle that is beautifully, dangerously bold. I got the city in my palm, the rivals are terrified. My deeply inflated ego is heavily, completely satisfied. I roll through the avenue in the heavily tinted Benz, surrounded by a heavily loyal circle of the friends. We popping the bottle, celebrating the massive wealth, ignoring the damage to our deeply psychological health. I thought the respect was measured by the fear in their eyes, believing the deeply superficial and the fabricated lies. I pushed my family away, said I had to grind alone, building a heavily fortified and an isolated throne. I was invincible, untouched by the universal law, ignorant to the incredibly massive fatal character flaw. Time is the undefeated champion. It takes the gold and leaves you with the rust. Stare in the mirror, what do you see? The ghost of the boy that you used to be. The money is loud, but the silence is deep. A heavily devastating promise that you couldn't keep. Yeah, face yourself. Yeah, face yourself. Yeah, now I'm looking at the mirror 20 heavily decades late, suffering the consequences of the deeply isolated fate. The gold chains are heavy, but they feel like a metal noose. The deeply psychological demons are heavily running loose. The friends that I had are either buried or in the cell, leaving me to navigate this deeply lonely, luxurious hell. The scars on my face are a deeply permanent reminder of a deeply violent past that is heavily left behind her. I traded my holy soul for a heavily temporary shine, crossing an incredibly irreversible and a dangerous line. If I could talk to the boy that I heavily used to be, I would tell him to deeply and profoundly break free from the illusion of the street, the heavily fabricated power before the incredibly devastated. that you used to be. The money is loud, but the silence is deep. A heavily devastating promise that you couldn't keep. Yeah, face yourself. It ain't a coincidence that the liquor stores outnumber the grocery stores. It's a design. Welcome to the maze. Break the walls, see the trap, wiping off the borders on the sociological map. Break the walls, see the trap, wiping off the borders on the sociological map. Engineered to fail, but we built to survive. Engineered to fail, we built to survive. Yeah, beat the odds. Yeah, look at the architecture of the neighborhood design. Everything is calculated, heavily aligned. Liquor on every corner, pawn shops in between, feeding the addiction of the metropolitan machine. The schools are underfunded, the textbooks falling apart, crushing the ambition right directly from the start. They push us in the corner, throw a weapon in the cage, watch us annihilate each other in the blind rage. Then they turn the cameras on and call us animals and thugs, blaming the community for the violence and the drugs. It's a multi-billion-dollar penitentiary complex, treating human beings like they just another flex. I see the invisible bars, I see the grand scheme, waking up the brothers from the fabricated dream. We fighting the war against an enemy unseen, operating quietly behind the digital screen. Break the walls, see the trap, wiping off the borders on the sociological map. Break the walls, see the trap, wiping off the borders on the sociological map. Engineered to fail, but we built to survive. Engineered to fail, but we built to survive. Yeah, beat the odds. Yeah, they gentrify the block, push the original people out, replacing the culture with the avocado sprout, raising up the rent until the families gotta move, erasing the historical and the generational groove. It's an economic cleansing, subtle and polite, happening right in front of the blind and city light. But I refuse to be a victim, refuse to be erased. I'm standing my ground in this geographical space. I'm organizing dollars, buying back the property, breaking the invisible chains of the modern slavery. We gotta pool the resources, build our own economy, reclaiming the heavily disputed autonomy. If they don't give us a seat at the table, we build our own, carving a new empire straight out of the stone. The odds are stacked heavy, the mountain is steep, but the resilience of my people is incredibly deep. You can't beat the maze. You can't beat the maze. Off the borders on the sociological map. Break the walls, see the trap, wiping off the borders on the sociological map. Engineered to fail, we built to survive. Engineered to fail, we built to survive. Beat the odds. Beat the odds. See the trap for what it is and walk right out of it. Yeah, let me get a coffee black, no sugar. Just gonna stand here and watch the world spin for a minute. Yeah. Leaning on the plex plexiglass standing by the door, watching the drama unfold at the local store. The homeless man outside begging for a dime, while the neighborhood hustlers plotting the crime. Her mother at the counter counting up the heavy change, trying to figure out how to mathematically arrange a meal for the beautiful and innocent kids, while the politicians making their deceptive bids. The neon sign is buzzing up above the wet glass, watching another tragedy inevitably pass. I see the undercover cops sitting in the unmarked car, watching the local dealers operating from afar. The neighborhood is functioning just like a machine, a devastating, calculated poverty routine. I take a sip of the coffee, bitter and black, carrying the weight of the city upon the back. Watch the block, read the street, surviving the heavy concrete defeat. Open the eyes, analyze the scheme, waking the brothers from the fabricated dream. Wake up. The gentrification is slowly creeping in the zone, erasing the history and everything we own. They raising the rent until the families gotta move, erasing the historical and generational groove. The corner store is the only sanctuary left in the community suffering from systemic theft. I see a young kid walking in with a heavy frown, wearing the colors of the most dangerous side of town. He buys a pack of gum, holding on to a loaded tool, skipping the education, dropping out of the school. I pull him to the side, look him strictly in the eye, tell him that the lifestyle is a fabricated lie. You fighting over asphalt you will never ever own, trading your potential for a temporary throne. The system wants you dead or sitting in a tiny cage. You gotta channel the intelligence and curb the rage. Watch the block, read the street, surviving the heavy concrete defeat. Open the eyes, analyze the scheme, waking the brothers from the fabricated dream. Wake up. I buy the kid a sandwich, hand him a paperback book, telling them to thoroughly and carefully take a look. The knowledge is the weapon that they absolutely fear. It makes the invisible boundaries disappear. You wanna be a rebel, go and get a real degree. Learn how to build a business, secure the property. We gotta pull the resources, elevate the total net. We owe the ancestors a monumental debt. He looks at the book, puts the weapon in his bag, lowering the colors of the territorial flag. It's just a small step, but the journey has begun. Walking out the store into the rising of the sun. I finish up the coffee, throw the cup in the trash, knowing that the intellect is heavier than cash. The corner store prophet, delivering the holy word, making sure the message of the universe is heard. The whole world is right here on this corner. You just gotta know how to look at it. Take care of yourself, kid. Sometimes you just gotta sit in the car and let the rain wash it all away. Let it pour. Watch the chrome, navigating through the storm. Let it pour. Let it pour. Watch the chrome, navigating through the storm. Yeah. Never do this. Sitting in the driver's seat, watching the wiper blades, thinking about the choices and the sacrifices made. City looks peaceful when it's soaked in the rain, washes all the blood and it numbs all the pain. Neon signs reflecting in the puddles on the street. I'm finding my sanctuary right inside the beat. Ain't nowhere to be, ain't nobody to see. Just a moment of silence for a sinner like me. The hustle never stops, but tonight I take a pause. Tired of the violence and the breaking of the laws. Let the water cleanse the dirt off the chrome. Long way to go, but I'm finally heading home. I don't hold grudges, I let the anger release. The ultimate luxury is in the peace. Keep the window cracked, smell the ozone in the air. Whisper in the quiet in the solitary prayer. Let it pour. Let it pour. Watch the chrome, navigating through the storm. Navigating through the storm. Let it pour. Watch the chrome, navigating through the storm. Yeah. My soul bipolar's exhausted from the constant paranoia. Trusting nobody, not the judge or the lawyer. Everybody wearing masks, playing different roles, selling out their brothers just to reach their goals. But tonight the rain makes everybody equal. No heroes, no villains, ain't no sequel. Just humans trying not to drown in the flood, trying to keep the water from mixing with the blood. I turn the radio dial, find a classic groove, let the bass line tell me how I need to move. Sometimes the greatest strength is sitting still, looking out the window, looking at the hill. When the city goes to sleep and the sirens wail, I'm the one who writes the ending to the untold tale. No medals for the change, no parades in the town, just a man pulling himself up from the ground.
Listen to the drop. It's the city crying for everything we lost.
Wash it clean, start over tomorrow. Let it pour. Wash the chrome,
navigating through the storm. Navigating through the storm.
Let it pour. Wash the chrome,
navigating through the storm. Navigating through the storm.
Breathe deep, breathe deep, breathe deep. Leave the heavy sins behind. Make it home.
Navigating through the storm.
You can't hit what you can't see. I'm a myth to them, a rumor, but the power is very real. Move like a ghost, leave no trace, securing the power in the darkest place. Move like a ghost, leave no trace, securing the power in the darkest place. No cameras, no flash, just a blank face. No cameras, no flash, just a blank face. Yeah, in the dark. I don't take pictures, I don't do the interviews, I don't want my face plastered on the evening news. I'm a ghost in the system, operating in the blind, leaving all the vanity and the ego behind. They whisper my name in the back of the club, but they don't know the face of the man at the hub. I pull the heavy strings from behind the velvet curtain, making sure the outcome is absolutely certain. I got the politicians in the pocket of my coat, I'm the one navigating the heavy ferry boat. You want the shiny spotlight, you want the heavy fame, I just want the absolute control of the game. I slip through the cracks of the governmental net, I'm the biggest undiscovered geographical threat. I leave no fingerprints, no digital footprint, I vanish in the dark without a solitary hint. Move like a ghost, leave no trace, securing the power in the darkest place. Move like a ghost, leave no trace, securing the power in the darkest place. No cameras, no flash, just a blank face. No cameras, no flash, just a blank face. Yeah, in the dark. The feds got a file, but the file is completely empty. They tryna find a weakness, tryna heavily tempt me, but I don't have a vice, I don't gamble with the dice. I'm colder than the absolute 0 degree ice. I communicate through layers, intermediaries and guards. I hold the most valuable and the heaviest of cards. They chasing after shadows, chasing after the smoke. I'm delivering the fatal and the ultimate stroke. When the rival bosses fall and the empires crash, I'm the one sweeping up the remaining of the ash. I build the shell companies, wash the money clean, operating the most intricate and quiet machine. I'm the boogeyman that the other gangsters fear, because I can make a problem completely disappear without raising a finger, without raising a voice. I leave the opposition with a solitary choice. They can't see you, they can't shoot you. Move like a ghost, leave no trace, securing the power in the darkest place. Move like a ghost, leave no trace, securing the power in the darkest place. No cameras, no flash, just a blank face. No cameras, no flash. Just a blank face. Yeah, in the dark. In the dark. In the dark. Yeah. Move in silence, they won't even know what hit them. In the dark.
We spent 10 years trying to kill each other over a street neither of us own. Look at us now. What was the point?
Standing in the heavy rain, wearing the tailored suit, paying the final respect, delivering the absolute, looking at the headstone with your name carved deep, a permanent slumber, an eternal type of sleep. You was my biggest rival, the enemy on the street, fighting for survival, refusing to take defeat. We shed a lot of blood, turning avenues to mud, a devastating, catastrophic generational flood. But looking at the dirt, getting shoveled in the hole, I only feel a heavy sorrow resting on my soul. We were two young kings, manipulated by the strings, ignorant to the reality that the violence brings. We fought for a zip code, walking the dangerous road, carrying the toxic and the devastating load, while the real enemy laughed, watching the self-destruct, a meticulously engineered systematic construct.
Drop the rose, close the grave,
Freeing the mentally bound slave.
bury the hate, let the weapons rust,
Ashes to ashes,
and the concrete to the dust. Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
They told us we were foes, orchestrated the tragic show. The system provided the guns and watched the body count grow. We thought we were generals commanding a mighty fleet, but we were just pawns dying on a desolate street. The mothers are weeping, the caskets are dropping down. The undertaker is the richest man in the entire town. I look at your family crying under the canopy, realizing the profound and the utter insanity. I see my own reflection in the puddles on the grass, watching the fragility of the human lifetime pass. If I pull the trigger first, it will be me in the box, locked in a permanent state with the heaviest of locks. The territorial pride is a venomous disease, bringing the strongest of warriors directly to their knees. I'm shedding a silent tear, washing away the pride, standing as a solitary figure by your side.
Drop the rose, close the grave,
Freeing the mentally bound slave.
bury the hate, let the weapons rust,
Ashes to ashes,
and the concrete to the dust. Let it go.
let it go.
Let it go.
I drop a single red flower down onto the wood, refusing to continue the violence in the hood. I make a holy vow today to completely walk away, to ensure the younger generation sees a brighter day. I'm burying the hatchet, burying the deep revenge. There is no honor left for the warriors to avenge. I'm going to the youth centers, telling them my tragic tale, trying to keep the young brothers out of the bloody jail. Your death won't be in vain. I will utilize the pain to break the heavily destructive generational chain. Rest in absolute peace, my former territorial brother. Underneath the surface, we were exactly like each other. I turn my collar up, walking back to the waiting car, looking at the stormy clouds hiding the morning star. The war is officially over, the battle is finally done. I'm stepping out of the shadows and walking toward the sun.
No more blood, I'm ending the war right here. Rest easy.
No more blood. I'm ending the war right here.
Rest easy, rest easy, rest easy. the loudest one in the room.
Is the weakest one in the room. Watch your mouth, watch your mouth, the loudest. Everybody, keep it mute. Everybody got a camera, everybody got a script. Everybody want a piece of the championship. Typing on the internet, flexing for the gram, but they fold like paper when they in the real jam. I come from an era where the silence was a vow, where you didn't need an audience to take a bow. The real kings operate in the absolute blue. I keep my circle tight like a hangman's knot. I don't broadcast the moves, I just execute the plot. If you know, then you know, ain't no need to explain. A silent assassin in the pouring rain. I sit back in the cut, observing the play, watching how the fake kings slowly decay. They chasing after clout, I'm securing the base. I run a marathon, they just running in place. Keep it mute. Watch the crowd. Real moves are never loud. Keep it mute. Keep it mute. Watch the crowd. Real moves are never loud. Keep it mute. Keep it mute. Watch the crowd. I don't need the validation of a million views. I'm the one who writes the headlines for the evening news. A stoic in the chaos, a pillar in the storm. I broke them all before they even gave it a form. Got my mind on the objective, hands on the wheel. Only trust the mathematics and the cold hard steel. Watch the lips move, listen to the heartbeat. I can smell the fear bleeding out onto the street. Don't say a word, let them hang themselves. Keep your secrets locked away on the dusty shelves. They measure a man's worth by the ice on his wrist. I measure a man's worth by the strength of his fist. Not the one that throws punches, but the one holding the pen. Rewriting the narrative for the forgotten man. No snitching, no preaching, just the rawest of facts. Every syllable I spit is covering the cracks. Rap. Wanna put in the work. Watch the crowd. Beat the mute. When I'm putting the work. Real moves are never loud. Keep it mute. Keep it mute. Watch the crowd. Keep it mute. Watch the crowd. Keep it mute. Real moves are never loud. Move in silence. Let the success make the noise. Watch your mouth.
I saw you falling into the abyss. You thought I was gonna let you hit the bottom? Never that. When the gravity pulls you directly to the grave, I am the heavily loyal brother coming to save. Let's talk. I watched you spiraling completely out of control, losing a magnificent grip on your holy soul. The heavy addiction was clouding your brilliant brain, washing away your historical massive gain. You pushed the loyal foundational brothers away, walking deeply into the devastating heavy grave. I saw you sleeping upon the freezing concrete floor, begging for the heavy dimes at the liquor store. The superficial temporary friends completely left, committing a devastating psychological theft. But I couldn't abandon the loyal brother in need. I initiated the deeply magnificent deed. I picked you up from the absolute heavy dirt, wiping away the historical generational hurt. I brought you deeply into my own sanctuary home, refusing to let you dangerously blindly roam. Pull the cord, break the fall, answering the deeply historical call. When the gravity is pulling you to the ground, we the parachute making a victorious sound. Yeah, I got you. You hated me for locking you in that room to get clean. but look at you now.
Standing tall, step to the mic, brother.
I sat with you during the agonizing withdrawal, watching you desperately, heavily, painfully crawl. I heavily locked the heavy, impenetrable door, keeping me away from the devastating storm. I cursed your historical, magnificent name, fighting the internal, heavily burning flame. But you absorbed the historical heavy blows, knowing exactly how the dark addiction goes. You acted as the absolute, impenetrable shield, refusing to cowardly, heavily ever yield to the historical, deeply terrifying demon, guiding the lost, heavily navigating, seeming back to the heavy, beautifully illuminated shore, providing the heavily magnificent absolute chore. You are the parachute that heavily saved my life, cutting the historical, devastating knife. You found your magnificent holy way,
Stepping into the brilliantly brighter day.
the brotherhood heavily saved your life.
Surviving the deeply historical strife.
We bound upon the heavily solid ground,
No weakness remains to be heavily found.
washing away the historical,
Heavy stain.
walking the magnificent mile in the rain.
Pull the cord, break the fall.
Answering the deeply historical call.
When the gravity is pulling you to the ground.
We the parachute making the victorious sound. Got you, got you, got you. Got you, got you, got you.
To your second chance, don't ever look back. I owe you my life, brother. Shout out to everybody fighting their demons. Keep pushing, we out, 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 out.
Let's talk. Drop the steel, grab the pen, rewrite how the story's gonna end. Drop the steel, grab the pen, rewrite how the story's gonna end. Story's gonna end. Story's gonna end. Story's gonna end. Right. Yeah. Turn the page. Sitting at the desk with a notebook and a Glock, trying to figure out how to emancipate the block. For years I used the metal to communicate my pain, washing away the disrespect out in the pouring rain. But violence is a cycle that consumes its own tail, ends up with a headstone or a letter from the jail. I looked at my hand, saw the power in the ink, decided it was time to make the enemy think. I trade the ammunition for a vocabulary, building up a mental and a lyrical sanctuary. I shook down the system with a metaphorical verse, breaking this sociological historical curse. The pen is a weapon that they cannot trace. I paint a masterpiece across the devil's face. I outgrew the corn, I outgrew the beef. I am the commander-in-chief of my own belief. Shift the mind, grab the pen, drop the steel, rewrite how the story's gonna end. Drop the steel, grab the pen, rewrite how the story's gonna end. Sharp thoughts, don't miss. Sharp thoughts, taking out the ignorance, pulling out the roots. Sharp thoughts, don't miss. Sharp thoughts, intellectual warfare wearing combat boots. Yeah. Walking through the neighborhood with a different kind of swagger, words cutting deeper than a silver-plated dagger. I'm educating homies on the real estate game, telling them to build a legacy to hold the name. The ops don't know how to handle my elevation. I turn my whole life into an inspiration. I document the struggle, the triumph, the mud, writing down the history in ink instead of blood. When I step into the booth, I'm loading up the clip. Every single metaphor is sinking the battleship. They try to silence me, but the message is out. I am the quiet storm and in the drought. If I gotta be the villain so they can be the hero, I'll take the reputation straight down to zero. As long as they make it, as long as they rise, I can finally see the heaven looking through their eyes. A bullet stops a heart, but an idea starts a revolution. Write your own history before they write it for you. Shift the mind, grab the pen, drop the steel, rewrite how the story's gonna end. Drop the steel, grab the pen, rewrite how the story's gonna end. Sharp thought, don't miss. Sharp thought, taking out the ignorance, pulling out the root. Sharp thought, don't miss. Sharp thought, intellectual warfare wearing combat boots. I dodge the petty squabbles, the fabricated lies, looking at the universe with wide open eyes. No pulling out the weapon, no shedding the blood, just a lotus flower rising from the filthy mud. Grab the pen, rewrite out, the story's gonna end. Intellectual warfare wearing combat boots. Grab the pen, grab the pen, grab the pen. Grab the pen. Let it pour, watch the chrome.
Navigating through the storm to make it home.
Let it pour, watch the chrome.
Navigating through the storm to make it home. Make it home, make it home, make it home. Breathe. Let it pour. Yeah, calm down. Yeah, sitting in the driver's seat watching the wiper blades. Thinking about the choices and the sacrifices made. City looks peaceful when it's soaked in the rain. Washes all the blood and it numbs all the pain. Neon signs reflecting in the puddles on the street. I'm finding my sanctuary right inside the beat. Ain't nowhere to be, ain't nobody to see. Just a moment of silence for a sinner like me. The hustle never stops, but tonight I take a pause. Tired of the violence and the breaking of the laws. Let the water cleanse the dirt off the chrome. Long way to go, but I'm finally heading home. I don't hold grudges, I let the anger release. The ultimate luxury is in the peace. Keep the window cracked, smell the ozone in the air. Whispering the quiet in the solitary prayer. Let it fall, oh, watch the chrome. Let it pour, navigating through the storm to make it home. Let it pour, let it pour. Navigating through the storm to make it home. Keep it calm, ride slow, keep it calm. Looking for a piece, looking for the bomb. Keep it calm, ride slow, keep it calm. Let the heavy storm be a healing song. My soul is exhausted from the constant paranoia. Trusting nobody, not the judge or the lawyer. Everybody wearing masks, playing different roles. Selling out their brothers just to reach their goals. But tonight the rain makes everybody equal. No heroes, no villains, ain't no sequel. Just humans trying not to drown in the flood. Trying to keep the water from mixing with the blood. I turn the radio dial, find a classic groove. Let the bass line tell me how I need to move. Sometimes the greatest strength is sitting still. Looking out the window, looking at the hill. When the city goes to sleep and the sirens wail, I'm the one who writes the ending to the untold tale. No medals for the change, no parades in the town. Just a man pulling himself up from the ground. Listen to the drops. It's the city crying for everything we lost. Wash it clean, start over tomorrow. Let it fall, oh, watch the chrome. Let it pour, navigating through the storm to make it home. Let it pour, let it pour. Navigating through the storm to make it home. Keep it calm, ride slow, keep it calm. Looking for a piece, looking for the bomb. Keep it calm, ride slow, keep it calm. Let the heavy storm be a healing song. I seen the era change, I seen the culture shift. But the boom bap beat is my ultimate gift. No living in the past, but I honor the roots. Still walking the path in my Timberland boots. Keep it calm, ride slow, keep it calm. Looking for a beat, looking for the bomb. Keep it calm, ride slow, keep it calm. Let the heavy storm be a healing song. Yeah, let it pour, let it pour, let it pour, let it pour, let it pour. Let it pour, 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 pour. There comes a time when you have to put the sword down. Surviving the war was step one. Now it's time to actually live. Back to bags. Turn the key. I packed the duffel bag, toss it in the
the trunk, leaving behind the alleys in the city junk. I look death in the eye too many times to count, watching the paranoia and the anxiety mount. I seen the bravest soldiers put inside the dirt. I'm walking away before I get a permanent shirt. No grand announcements, no shaking of the hands, just the quiet disappearance to the distant lands. I leave the crown on the table, let them fight for the throne. I'm stepping out the matrix, entering the unknown. They say once you in, you can never get out, but I'm the living proof. Shattering the doubt, I put the car in drive, rolling down the glass, watching all the landmarks of my history past. It's a bittersweet feeling, but my spirit is light, escaping from the darkness straight into the bright. Pack the bags, turn the key, walking towards a brand new destiny. Pack the bags, turn the key, walking towards a brand new destiny. The highway, turn the key down. The highway stretching out, nothing but the open road, lifting off the heavy psychological load. My phone is turned off, disconnected from the grid, leaving behind a man and rescuing the kid. I traded the hollow points for the peace of mind. The violence and the chaos is 50 miles behind. I'm heading for the coast, where the ocean is blue, to figure out a life that is beautiful and new. It takes a bigger man to walk away from the fight, to surrender the ego and step into the light. I survived the golden era, navigated the trap. Now I'm completely wiping off the geographical map. Let the young bloods battle for a corner of hell. I'm breaking out the psychological invisible cell. The sunrise hitting on the dashboard of the ride. A solitary man with a quiet sense of pride.
But the hardest thing for a soldier to do is learn how to be a civilian. I'm finally breathing.
Pack the bags, turn the key, walking towards a brand new destiny. Pack the bags, turn the key, walking towards a brand new destiny. Next chapter, I'm out. Next chapter, next chapter, I'm out. Next chapter, I'm out. Bring it back to the absolute essence. Bring it back. Bring it back to the to the absolute essence. Bring it back. Bring it back to the absolute essence. Yeah. I treat the microphone like it's a structural foundation, building up a deeply intellectual elevation. No cinematic gimmicks, I don't need a movie script. My vocabulary razor sharp, the dialect is equipped. I'm cutting through the plastic like a heavy pair of shears, navigating through the struggle and the socio-fears. We born inside a system that was programmed to reject us, looking for a higher power, hoping to protect us. But I realize the savior is the man up in the mirror, wiping off the fog to make the vision crystal clearer. I take a blank page, turn it into a cathedral. My syllables are lethal, the energy is primeval. You flexing with the rented cars, chasing after clout. I'm digging in the crates, trying to figure life out. The boom bap rhythm is the heartbeat of the block. I'm striking like a hammer on a solid piece of rock. Dropping the science, breaking the code, walking the heavy historical road. Dropping the science, breaking the code, walking the heavy historical road. They try to gentrify the mind, gentrify the street, but my authenticity is impossible to beat. I'm speaking for the corner store, speaking for the stoop, the undisputed leader of the underground group. You rhyming for the algorithm, dancing for the app. I'm putting real street philosophy back on the map. A veteran of war without wearing the fatigue. I'm operating heavily in my own exclusive league. The pen is dripping ink like the blood upon the pavement. I'm breaking all the shackles of the mental enslavement. We gotta teach the youth how to properly invest, past the ultimate and generational tests. I'm dropping heavy jewels on a dusty MPC, unlocking all the padlocks and setting the mind free. This ain't a pop song, this is unadulterated grit, the realest manifesto that was ever being written. You can't manufacture the soul. You either got it or you don't. We earn this. We earn this. We earn this. sound. My roots are deeply buried in the underground. I elevate the culture with a solitary word, making sure the voice of the marginalized is heard. I'm standing like a monument, weathering the storm, refusing to assimilate or quietly conform. The architect is working, drafting up the master plan, evolving from a soldier to a legendary man. I hit you with the raw, absolute, unpolished fact. The golden era essence is permanently intact. I sign it with my name, seal the letter with the stamp. The undisputed king of the metropolitan camp. Bring it back to the absolute essence. Bring it back to the absolute essence. We don't care about the radio. Take it back to the basement. Turn the bass all the way up. We don't care about. Step in the basement. Step in the basement. Step in the basement. I step in the basement, the air is thick with the smoke. This ain't a commercial, this ain't an industry joke. The SP 1200 is pounding the heavy kick. I'm spitting the venom that makes the mainstream sick. You rappers are fabricated, built in the corporate lab. I'm throwing the undeniable and punishing street jab. We don't need a music video, don't need a flashy set. We underground grinding, generating the blood and sweat. The cipher is sacred, a deeply historical ring where the realest soldiers are unofficially crowned the king. I look at the microphone like a lethal samurai sword, cutting the manipulated parasitic industry cord. I'm guarding the essence, protecting the gritty sound, keeping the culture buried securely deep underground. You rhyming for algorithms, dancing for the digital streams. I'm crushing your manufactured capitalistic dreams. Protect the core, lock the door, keeping the culture raw forevermore. Protect the core, lock the door, keeping the culture raw forevermore. Yeah, they try to gentrify hip-hop, put it in a tailored suit, but I am the heavily embedded original concrete root. They take the rebellion and quickly turn it to pop. I'm putting a devastating and absolute hard stop to the culture vultures feeding upon the musical corpse. I'm throwing the destructive, unadulterated lyrical force. We press our own vinyl, hand out the analog tapes, escaping the corporate executives and the industry apes. The respect in the street is the ultimate golden prize. I can see the terrifying panic hiding inside your eyes when I step in the dimly lit, suffocating vocal booth, delivering nothing but the unapologetic truth. You got a million followers, but nobody knows your name in the deeply historical underground survival game. I'm a documented architect, earning the highest respect, commanding the room with a superior intellect. You can buy your way onto the charts, but you can't buy your way into the cipher. You gotta earn that. You can buy your way into the cipher. Gotta earn that. Gotta earn that. I breathe the dust from the crates. The vinyl is fully scratched. My lyrical capability is completely unmatched. I stand as a monument constructed of solid stone, sitting comfortably alone on the underground throne. The mainstream is drowning in the incredibly shallow end, while I am the revolutionary messages that I send. I'm keeping the boom and the traditional bap alive, watching the realest, most authentic soldiers thrive. We don't ever compromise our vision for the heavy check. I'm keeping my boots firmly stepping on the industry's neck. The basement is locked from the inside, swallowing the key, the ultimate manifestation of a lyrical prodigy. We don't care. Walk the radio. Keeping the culture raw forevermore. We don't care.
check, 1, 2. Turn the bass up a little bit. Yeah. You remember when we didn't have nothing but a dream and empty pockets? We built a heavy castle entirely out of the dirt, surviving the historically deep and the generational hurt. BJ, drop the break. Let him know. Let him know. Let him know. Let him know. I'm looking back at the poverty-stricken days, navigating the deeply constructed historical maze. We used to split a solitary slice of bread with the unpayable bounties upon the head. We didn't have a functioning heating source, enduring the unadulterated winter force. You gave me your insulated heavy winter coat while we were sinking deeply in a leaking boat. We ran from the sirens, hiding in the dark, leaving a permanent and an undeniable mark. The hunger was physical, profoundly severe, but we conquered the deeply psychological fear. You stood by my side when the world turned away, bringing the deeply needed and the beautiful ray of absolute loyalty into a broken life, navigating the unadulterated heavy strife. Split the bread, share the pain, walking through the heavy generational rain. No paper contracts, we sign it in the mud. The loyalty is thicker than the absolute blood. Yeah. Real brothers. You took the fall so I could fly, I'll never forget that. Pass the mic, brother. Speak your truth. I remember the chaotic and the violent night when the embedded rivals initiated the fight. You stepped perfectly in front of the flying lead, refusing to leave me devastatingly dead. You took the heavy charge, accepted the blame, protecting my authentic historical name. You sat in the dark penitentiary cell so I could profoundly escape from the hell. That is an unpayable historical debt, a profound loyalty I will never forget. I'm taking care of your innocent kid, making sure he knows what his father did. An honorable, magnificent sacrifice, paying the ultimate and the heaviest price. The brotherhood is not a superficial word, it's a magnificent symphony continuously heard. We don't share the identical DNA, but we walk in the exact identical way. The blood of the covenant is incredibly thick, protecting each other from the governmental trick. I built a monumental heavy estate, securing the deeply historical fate. There is a permanent room waiting for you, presenting the magnificent, beautiful view. Split the bread, share the pain, walking through the heavy generational rain. No paper contracts, we sign it in the mud. The loyalty is thicker than the absolute blood. Yeah. Real brothers. Yeah. Split the bread, share the pain. Walking through the heavy. Yeah. To the foundation, I owe you my life. Underground forever, we hold it down for the brothers locked up. Keep your head high. No doubt real, recognize real. We out. We out. Everybody wants to be the boss, until it's time to do boss things. The crown looks like gold, but it feels like iron heavy. Heavy is the head that is wearing the crown. Heavy is the head. Yeah. I sit at the head of the heavily decorated
table, the heavily undisputed author of the heavily urban fable. The soldiers salute me when I'm heavily walking by. No deeply embedded rival is willing to heavily try. I dictate the deeply heavily economic pace, controlling the heavily deeply historical urban space. The money is heavily flowing in deeply magnificent streams, fulfilling the deeply heavily capitalistic dreams. I built a deeply heavily fortified, heavily massive wall, ensuring the heavily deeply historical empire won't fall. The power is heavily intoxicating, deeply profound. I am the heavily undisputed king of the town. They ask for the deeply heavily monumental advice, knowing I pay the heavily deeply incredible heavy price.
A king doesn't just wear a crown, he carries the weight of every casualty in his kingdom.
Heavy is the head that is wearing the crown, watching the heavily historical empire burning down. The respect is heavily paid with a deeply profound sorrow, praying the heavily deeply loyal soldiers
See tomorrow.
Bear the weight, bear the weight, bear the weight.
But behind the heavily closed doors, I heavily deeply suffer the mental wars.
When a young soldier is heavily deeply tragically killed, the heavily deeply profound guilt is heavily spilled. I gotta heavily look deeply in his mother's eyes, and heavily deeply fabricate the lies, telling her that he died for a heavily deeply noble cause, hiding the heavily deeply incredibly devastating flaws. The crown is heavily deeply incredibly made of the thorns. Every heavily deeply single time she mourns. I am deeply heavily deeply entirely responsible, carrying the deeply heavily incredibly deeply impossible weight of the heavily deeply human lives, protecting the deeply heavily incredibly vulnerable wives. I heavily deeply wanna completely step down, but who is gonna heavily deeply protect the town? I heavily deeply carry the cross, the deeply heavily incredibly devastating
Ultimate boss.
Heavy is the head that is wearing the crown, watching the heavily historical empire burning down. The respect is heavily paid with a deeply profound sorrow, praying the heavily deeply loyal soldiers
See tomorrow.
bear the weight, bear the weight, bear the weight, bear the weight.
Everybody wants to be the boss. You give your life so others can live theirs. Rest in peace to the fallen.
Heavy is the head that is wearing the crown.
Yeah. My fingers are dusty from digging deep in the crate, searching for historical, magical, musical fate. I'm looking for a forgotten, unappreciated soul to capture the rhythm and make my broken spirit whole. I find an old jazz record covered entirely in grime, a beautifully frozen, isolated moment in time. I wipe off the surface, place the needle upon the groove, and listen to how the legendary ancestors used to move. I sampled a Miller, call it deeply beautiful horn, and suddenly a brand new classic street anthem is born. The MPC pads are fading and heavily born out, from chopping the silence to amplify the vocal shout of the forgotten musicians who never received their due. I'm executing the mission, presenting a brand new view, bringing the past directly into the turbulent present day, dictating exactly how the underground culture will play.
The great flip the loop, defeating the absolute underground truth. The great flip the loop, defeating the absolute underground truth. Defeating the absolute underground truth. Defeating the absolute absolute underground.
The industry relies heavily on a digital vent, but I am exploring the musical endless labyrinth. I want the imperfection, I want the raw vinyl pop, I want the unpredictable, heavy and beautiful drop. It gives the instrumental a deeply humanized soul, a magnificent, undeniable, and absolute control. You can't program the historical generational pain that washes over the rhythm just like the summer rain. I'm preserving the history, acting as a faithful guard, working exceptionally, passionately, incredibly hard to keep the foundation intact and beautifully pure. A heavily concentrated musical and magical cure. The true underground producer intuitively knows that beauty resides strictly inside the grittiest lows. The dirt and the grime is the ultimate holy grail, ensuring the underground aesthetic will always prevail.
Absolute underground truth.
I loop the bass line tight, illuminating the night, executing the vision perfectly, exceptionally right. The rapper steps confidently into the recording booth, delivering the absolute unadulterated street truth. The synergy is perfect, a monumental project, earning the maximum undeniable absolute respect. We don't care about the massive superficial commercial sales. We successfully navigating the underground hidden trail. The vinyl is spinning flawlessly on the heavy steel wheel, providing the authentic, traditional, and raw feel. The crates are explored, the hidden treasures are fully restored, providing the ultimate, undeniable underground reward.
Feeding the absolute underground truth. Feeding the absolute underground truth. Flip the loop, feeding the absolute underground truth. Flip the loop, feeding the absolute underground truth.